Hi everyone, this is Cape at CapesCornerCreations, back with a new journal that I have just finished. I'm excited about this one and we'll walk through it here tonight. And I want to begin with thanking you all for visiting my channel. And if you enjoy my videos, please like with a thumbs up. Share if you can, subscribe if you like, and if you do subscribe, remember to ring that bell so you can see upcoming videos. Alright then, let's get started. This is a chunky, let me move my camera here a little bit for you, chunky journal. I have decided that in my craft room, I don't have a huge abundance of supplies, but I have, plenty for now. But I've really been trying to use what I have. So that, becomes a challenge. But making junk journals is a challenge to use your junk. So that's where I went with this particular journal. And I have been using paper bags. So this journal is made from cover to cover with paper bags. And of course some other things here and there, but mainly paper bags. I will say before I get involved in showing you this journal that the only thing that is recommended here is that you not use permanent marker on the pages because it will bleed through. But I tried all kinds of ink pens and everything seems to write really nice on the paper, so there's plenty of types of ink that worked fine, so that's good to go. Just no heavy markers because that will bleed through. But anyway, so let's take a look at this journal. It was really fun to make. I wanted to have something that looked, on the fall side, that even though fall is, we're pretty much through it, but it's just a more natural, woodsy, outdoor kind of journal, and the paper bag just suited it. And I wanted to use the stack of paper bags that are sitting there that I really don't have a big use for. So on the outside here we have a tie that I made with raffia, and I just took some and braided 3 pieces together, made a nice braid for a tie on it. I used the raffia on the spine and I just glued a bunch onto there to make it nice and firm. It's solid, it's stuck on there really well, and some gold ribbon on either side. And the back is plain, just paper bag. You can also see on the spine that I did use the bottom of the paper bags to make the spine more secure, so that is thicker there, and otherwise plain on the back, which you could always add pictures or writing or whatever you wanted to do to put on the back of that book, or leave it plain. And the front I will open here, take this off, and all I did was the raffia was bring it around the book, and I will put it back on at the end so you can see how I put that on. It's just one long piece here that I just wrapped around. So the cover, I used a beautiful picture, and I had these old cardboard picture frames. They were in a book actually, and I took it apart and made just the top piece, not the back piece, just the top piece, and cut it to fit, and it was gorgeous. And then I added a paper flower cluster on the top, and that's it. And it's just so pretty. So as we go into this book, as always, I have a note in the front of the book that explains how to use this journal, and I try to give each journal a name that suits the particular journal. So this one I did a little work on because I really wanted something to suit her, and I call them all hers. Well, some I may call sirs, but we'll see. Anyway, this little journal's name is Margaret, meaning pearl. She is one of a kind. And I named her after Margaret Knight, who invented the flat-bottom paper bag in 1868 in Springfield, Massachusetts. And I found that very interesting because as I researched the paper bag, you think I would have known that because I was born in Springfield, Massachusetts. So, but anyway, and 1868 makes it more than vintage, makes it, you know, the paper bag is antique, actually, over 100. Well, yeah, over 100 years old. So that was very interesting to me. And the other thing that I found very interesting was that it was a woman who invented the machine to fold and glue to make the paper bag a flat bottom and not just, you know, folded and glued. So that was interesting. So anyway, her name is Margaret. So, and then in the front sleeve also is a huge journaling card to just slip right out of that pocket. And there you have it. So you have two pockets on there. And you can see when I take this off how the paper bag bottom is this pocket that I used here. I don't know if you can actually see that on the video. So it's nice and, you know, thick, and that holds this big journaling card. And I use raffia on the top of this card as well. And then I just put a pocket on top of there to house the note from me and the name of the journal. Okay, so then we have just a beautiful picture. I have a picture on each beginning signature, so you know when you get to the next picture, you begin your next signature. Then I have inside a lot of old vintage papers, you know, book pages, dictionary papers. This one's just trimmed in lace with a napkin glued on here. This is a different napkin glued on this page. And here it says, oh, this one says exploring. So that's, you know, a good beginning for your journal. This page says nourish your soul. I thought you could put memories and things like that. This is a piece of spice dyed paper that I made, and that's on one of the videos. You can go back and look for the spice dyed papers. I've been testing different things to use in the house, again, without, you know, I do drink coffee, but I probably would use spices more. So I tried them out and it came out really beautiful. So that's what this paper is, and this is just a napkin with some stenciling. You open up and there's writing space there, and of course you can write all around your paper. And this is just a stencil with writing space, and again this page, a little bit of writing space. This is See the World, you know, butterfly garden in a fairy. And this page, just writing space. There's really a ton of writing space in this book, but there's also a lot of, you know, little trinkets and clusters and collages and ribbons and paper and lace all throughout, and more writing space with lightly stenciled around the pages. This little tuck has three little writing space. You have a little telegram card here with writing space on the front and the back. This journaling card actually has like recipes, sunshine cake, and orange wedges, sliced orange wedges. I don't know. The first word's not there, so don't really sure what that is. But that was just some old paper out of a book from like the 60s and 70s that I had. And on the back, of course, writing space. And then there's another card here. This one says Curious. And at the bottom of this picture, there's a bird's nest with some baby eggs there. And writing space on the back. So just slip those back in. And some tags and pictures there of some butterflies. Over here I have some beautiful paper that I got from a old diary book, and I've been using those. They're very pretty, and it just suited this diary, diary journal for the colors and everything. and some lace on there. And more writing space with clusters at the top of the page here. Some ribbon. More lace. This side pocket has this little fairy sitting on a mushroom. And writing space on the back, quite large. There's plenty of writing space and the whole page naturally. And it says happy on this page. Over here we have this bird picture that I got from a vintage book, child's learning book on animals, and that was probably in the late 40s, early 50s. And some more dictionary page and some napkin. This side, there's two pockets here. This one in the front says just keep going, with some scrapbook paper and a vintage flower picture. And then two journaling cards over here that I made with collage. On this one, all different papers, some paper doily. This one says kindness with some raffia. And again, that nice paper I got from that diary I'm using in there. And this one, covered in a paper bag with a beautiful owl. I got that from Pam at the Paper Outpost. Got that digital from her. Well, you know, through her Etsy shop, so be sure to check that out. Creativity takes courage. Always think of the owl as courageous. And more raffia on there. This page is just a blank with a little bit of stenciling for writing. This is a little tag. Has writing space on the back if you wanted to keep something private back there. On a paper clip, so you could also add a paper or notes or pictures or something important you want to put in there, but you didn't want to glue it. Just slip it on with the paper clip. Stenciled a piece of material with the butterfly there, and it just added a safety pin. More writing space. This page I enjoyed making, trying to again use the things in the house to make the junk journal. This white, too bad you can't touch through the camera, but it's very soft because it was a gauze pad that I opened up and took apart and then glued onto the page and just went over it a little bit with you know, some distressed oxide ink, some vintage photo just around, you know, the edges of the paper actually, and it just gave it such a nice warm look, and again a feeling of, you know, materials that a bird would gather for a nest. This bird picture with the butterfly is actually a piece of cotton material that I got to make a cover of a journal. So this was a scrap and beautiful material. It's very ephemera-like material, so I really enjoyed using all of that and saving the scraps. And then again, more of that paper, and this says use your wings. I like a lot of positive words in my journals. I think we all need that at this time of our lives with all the chaos that's happening around us. So, yeah, always nice to have positive affirmation. Be the exception. This is another bird picture from that digital from the Paper Outpost. And this is spice dyed paper that I did and just put a little inking on there to distress the edges. And I made that little envelope again out of a piece of paper bag. So that's a handmade little envelope from the bags. I try to use it in clusters. I use the paper bag in the making envelopes, clusters, tags, you know, journaling cards. So it really was fun to incorporate it in all of my journal. And the last page in this signature is just stenciled with some ribbon, a lot of writing space. And here's the second signature. This page has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of different book pages from different error and different size font. They were all different, and then I just drew a little flower on the middle one here and distressed ink all around the edges and made it a pocket. And there's two journaling cards in here. One is long, like you could use as a bookmark with writing space on the back, and then the shorter one that says celebrate with writing space on the back. So you have two there, and again another one of those pages that's glued down on that vintage dictionary page. And you can see the paper bag. I didn't mend or fix the actual opening of the bags. I just left them. So I wanted it to be, in its unique self. This page says, make yourself proud. There's 3 journaling cards here. Let's flip them out. But then you have this whole area on page for writing space. This tag was made from paper bag, and then I put a little raffia at the top and some old dictionary page with some of that really pretty napkin that I had found. I wish I could find more of that, and if I do, I will get some. It's very, very pretty with the script on there and the flowers. This one says perfect. The little flower and some script from scrapbooking paper. Really pretty. And this is a little bird. I'm not sure where I got that one from, but one of the digitals on the somewhere. I should write these things down because I forget. Here's another page that has the opening of the lunch bag over here. So, and this one is really pretty. I think I might have made this one when I was making clusters one day on a video, but I used a satin flower with a pearl, a paper flower, some scrapbooking paper, some old vintage craft pages from an old craft book, and some lace. So that one is really pretty. And dragonflies, because we love dragonflies and butterflies. And this is just some paper with a little cluster, again with the doily and the paper flowers, and some lace. Lots of writing space. This is a good sized journal too. We'll measure that up when we're done here. There's a belly band with some like brown, if I could think of the word, burlap like material, and a little paper cluster with a little satin flower. And this is just some of that stained, spice-stained paper, and I just used a lot of stencils to make some designs, and on the inside writing space. And I just tucked that into that little piece of ribbon there. And over here, writing space, this is a little piece of that leftover gauze pad that I just scrunched up and glued to the page. And this piece is a button, a piece of lace, a piece of material, another piece of doily-like lace, and it's attached to a ball pin, which is pinned on this piece of material, which is a actual snap that snaps on to each other. If I can pull it off here, like so. And I just snapped it right through the paper to make, something to grab onto, because the paper is thin, so you don't want to tear it. So I try to make every paper have a piece of lace or ribbon or something, so that when you're turning it, it has some sturdiness to it. This page is another one of the owls that I got from Paper Outpost. Be the exception, says, and more of that beautiful diary paper with some black ribbon with some gold trim on that page. Let me turn this around here so we can take that out. Then I have, this is the middle of that signature, and it's just stenciled with some paper and lace ribbon. Again on this side. This page has a little cluster here, a cluster at the top. It has 3 journaling cards, of course, writing space. And this one has that nice little journaling page that I've been using. And so you can write on the front and the back. And again here, this one says Dare to Begin. Some really pretty music paper, some flowers, writing space. And this card, I used a little envelope for mail, like a mail card. That's probably a Tim Holtz card. Special delivery, it says, with a flower from a page, some vintage book pages, scrapbook paper, and another little piece from probably Tim Holtz, but I put that there. And this is another piece of that material with the birds and the butterflies. So pretty. I just cut it out and glued it to the page with a cluster. This is another one of the spice pages that I used, and then I splattered it with some coffee mixture that I had for coffee dyed papers, and I used the two together, and it really came out very pretty. There, and I just put this little cutout, little garden at the bottom for a side tuck. Here we have this piece of paper. Really came out really beautiful, and I surprised myself because you never know what you're going to get when you're dyeing the paper sometimes. And it's just so pretty. I'm going to show you the back and the front side. You can see how that came out. And on this side, I couldn't probably do that twice. So very nice. And this, if you had an envelope to fit this, you could make a nice card and send it with a gift or something to someone. And this, again, just the vintage dictionary page with some writing space. Here we have 2 envelopes with some raffia on here, and this says Courage, and it's the dragonfly and the butterflies with some stenciling, and I did that throughout. And inside both there's a card, journaling card, with writing on both sides that tuck into the envelope here, and one over this side. And I just lined the inside of the envelopes with some paper because I just thought it was the green was appropriate for the foresty green nature book. On this page we have a side triangle tuck with 2 journaling cards. This one says, Today I Choose Joy. We really need to do that more often, don't we? Instead of worrying what we can't do, enjoy what we can do. Trust your instincts. And these are collages that I made with all bits of scraps and tags and journaling paper and book pages, and they really came out quite cute. And of course, journaling space on the back of both of them. Up here on the top, I made this cluster, and I crocheted, I'll bring this up so you can see, I crocheted this flower, the pink part of the flower, to go with that, because I was looking for something, and I decided, well, I'll just make one, because I didn't have one. So again, using up my, and I have heaps of crochet thread. Oh my. I was into crocheting Barbie doll clothes for my granddaughters, and so of course I have every color. And back here I have some more of this writing paper. It's just beautiful, and it's, I used it throughout because it just was a nice look to the journal with dictionary page. There's 2 pockets here. This one on the bottom holds this tag, and it says buy the ticket. And I have a little ticket with some paper doily, some scrapbook paper, and again more of that beautiful paper that's for journaling. And these 2 journaling cards, this one says live every day with intention. Isn't that true? I think I try to start my day with one intent and several gratitudes every day. And today's my intent was to make this video because my computer had a problem, this week, so we couldn't put up a video on time on Friday, so that went out, I think, yesterday. And, you know, my gratitude is that it all worked out and husband was able to take care of that, so I'm grateful for that and grateful for him. So anyways, two journaling cards with writing space on the back of them, and they slip right in there. And then this is the last page of that signature. This is the beginning of the next signature. These beautiful pictures. This is an envelope that I made just out of a piece of scrapbooking paper, and it opens to writing space, and you can open it all the way up, use that whole thing for writing, and then fold that back up. You can, you know, keep something in there that's private. This page over here is more of that beautiful spice dyed paper, and it does open up to a full sheet, so there's plenty of writing space on there. This is a piece of material that I had used for another journal. It was a scrap. I used that here. These two, I had just done a video on stenciling, and I decided just to put these in the book because I thought they were great backgrounds for you to put on your own words or stickers or photographs or however you wanted to decorate them. So I added those to this journal. Then there's more writing space, of course, and this here, it's faint, but it says, "Have a magical day." The flower garden here on the bottom, all stenciled here. This is a pocket and a belly band. Under the ribbon, we have this journaling card, says, "Slay your day," with writing space. And then inside this piece, there's a large journaling card with plenty of writing space. I just thought he was so cute there. His eyes peeking out. And this side is a doily vintage dictionary page, a paper bag, journaling card with the raffia, some stenciling, and the piece of napkin. I just love those. The butterflies are so pretty. And then this one here with the collage and the writing space. So I've been enjoying making these collages and journaling cards. I'm not one to get too far ahead. I usually make my journals a page at a time. So I would work on this page, and then I would work on this page. I don't get too far ahead. Once in a while I might put something in further back, but I tend to go page by page, and I know a lot of people can scoot around in their journals, but I feel like I'm losing a connection when I do that, so I try to work from page to page. So then here on this page we have another triangle side pocket with a small pocket on the bottom of the front of this one that holds this journaling card, and it says "Beautiful" with writing space, and on the back a really cute vintage picture of a woodpecker on the side of a tree, and that slips in there. And then this one says "Journal," and there's journaling space here, and all these pieces, a piece of lace, a piece of paper doily, a sticker, and this card I got from all different places. And this map paper from, gosh, I don't even know. I've had some of these things for a long time, but that is probably one of something I got at maybe Hobby Lobby. And some old lace that I know I've had this for a long, long time. So that's old. And of course writing space. And you slip that in there. This is a little paper flower that I did. There is a video on that. We just made some last week on cutting out flowers. That's a fun video because you use the same fold for all the different flowers, and that last cut makes them all different, and I just thought that fit perfectly in this book. And with some little pink leaves on the side and some pink journaling, pink stamping on the edge of this paper. Very pretty. This is another tuck which holds a coffee dyed paper, and a couple of owls, again from that digital kit that I got from the Paper Outpost, with a lot of stenciling on here. And then there's writing space all within, big piece of paper, and that just tucks right in there. And of course, all the tucks and pockets and things, you can put your own things and, you know, add to what's already here. This is 3 pockets on this page of pretty pinkish music paper, and then just 3 pockets. This one says be inspired, this one says work hard, and this one says enjoy. And they're just little tags that you can write on the back of them, add something on the front, or write on both sides. You can write right on that paper. Let me get back in here now. There we go. And they're all, you know, the same. The middle one is a little bit thinner, the outer 2 are the same size, with some ribbon on there. And then you have this page for writing. This is a crisscross ribbon that I put in a couple of my journals. And this tag says, today is your best day. And it has a little triangle side pocket here in the front with some collage and things on there, and this little envelope with a tag inside, writing space on the back, and notes here on the front, so you can write on both sides of that. And that sticks right in that little envelope, which goes right in that pocket, which slips right back into our crisscross, which is on top of some more vintage dictionary paper. And then this one says this moment, with more writing space, lots of writing space. This is a large journal. It's great for somebody who's really good at journaling, because there's tons of room in here for you. This little side piece comes right off. It's a really pretty flower. Some paper bag on the outside of it, writing space on the back. Take this clip off, and inside is a coloring paper. I love to doodle, so it's a good time to take a break in your journal and just color away. And I just took that onto this page here for something to do. Or not. Or for one of the kids when you're trying to write in your journal, and here, take this and color it for me. And then you can add it to your journal. Something that they did. This is another envelope that I made. It just slips into this green part, and it opens all the way up with that beautiful paper. Again, it's very solid, so it's, you know, quite sturdy. So you can go ahead and write right on there, not a problem. It doesn't bend, it's quite sturdy. And that just slips back into this little piece here. There we go. And I slipped a journaling card behind it. Let yourself rest. We must do that with all this craziness. You know, rest is healing, so make sure that you all get some good rest. More journaling space, some beautiful script paper with some coffee dyed paper, some just butterfly stamping, more writing space. And then we have this beginning of the next signature, beautiful pictures. And I'll turn the page, and just some stenciling here, some writing space. This is old business arithmetic. I thought that was so cool, because I don't know if there's a kid around that knows how to do fractions and long division by hand. I know I probably can't, but you know, math is so crazy today. And this was from 1942, so I doubt they know how to do this. But it's a good thing to have there, a reminder of times past. This is Master Your Craft. These are all pieces of vintage papers that I had. And some stenciling on the back, light stenciling that, of course, you can write right over on this pocket right here. And this other pocket on this side with some stenciled spice stained papers. It's hard to see, but they're pink color. And that video is on my, in one of my, you know, I think it's maybe 4 or 5 videos back. This page is just a flip. I just flipped up the bottom and glued it here, made a pocket with 2 journaling cards. This one says Charming, and this is in French, Moments, and both journaling cards on the back. And this one also has another tag that says Note, you can write right on there. Let me just slip right in there. Another one of the flowers we made on that last week with the cutting of the paper. I added that to this journal. This is some pink material I had left over from quilting, so I added that because it looked like pink leaves on the side, so I wanted that to come into my nature book here. This says, if I can try that again, put my tongue in backwards here. Okay, when you love what you have everything you need. And isn't that true? I love that saying. More journaling space. This is a card also we made on one of the videos a while back, a month or so or longer ago. This is the front pocket over here. There's writing space on both sides. And then this side has a piece of paper, a copy dyed paper that opens up quite large for writing space. It says A Perfect Day. Down here it says Dream. And up here it says Make It Count, and then it opens to yet another journaling card with writing space on both sides, and of course you've got your side over here to write on. So there's quite a lot of writing space in that little tuck pocket. And over here another page of writing, more writing space. This side pocket has More Kindness, a nice little bookmark, if you will. This paper is old, it feels old, it's maybe heavier art paper from years and years ago. I love the way the paper dyed. I don't know that you can see it exactly, but it's really got some beautiful grains on this paper, so it's very pretty. It took to the spice as well. And a little butterfly here on the top. Just tuck that in. And of course lace. This pocket is just 2 pieces of lace I made with the bottom piece and then the daisies I added. This has this beautiful college rule spice paper dyed spice dyed paper. Let's put that back in order. And again another journaling card for your use there, and of course the whole page. So there's, like I said, this book has a ton of writing space. This is that material that I've saved, this paper, and I don't have a lot of it, but I use it, little pieces of it. It was wrapping paper that I had gotten on a gift from my mother years back, and I saved it because I thought it was so pretty, and so every time I see it, of course, I think of her. And so anyway, this is a journaling card with writing space on the front with a little cutout of roses on there and writing space on the back, which slips right into this pocket. And over here we have writing space on the front of this, says Break the Routine, and a little cluster on a paper bag journaling card. Of course you can write on the front and the back. This is an old book page from an old craft book, probably, like I said, in the 60s and 70s. More writing space. And this page has this another one of these little paper clip tags with the paper bag for writing space on there to keep a note. If you slip this off, and then here it says Cherish Every Moment. This piece of paper, if I can grab it, just pulls out to a full sheet of paper. So you have all this writing space here to continue maybe something that was going on, an event or something, and you could do pictures or writing or whatever you can fill up. And then of course on the back side as well, the full piece of paper. And I just clipped that with this paper clip tag just to hold that paper down. And then on the top on this, there's a ball pin with a little key charm. And on this side, again with that beautiful paper, I love that paper. Some cutout lace. Over here I made this little paper bag seed pocket with it says buy the ticket, take the ride. So I put a little ticket on there for 35 cents. Of course, in vintage, in times, I don't know what's 35 cents in today's world, but anyway, that ticket was 35 cents. A little bird from that vintage book that I had found, and there's a little card here with some writing space on it. This has a journaling card inside the seed pocket, and in the back of the pocket another one, home sweet home, more kindness, it says, and some raffia and some lace on that page. And then finally in the back of the book we have a belly band on a pocket, and there's just some beautiful flowers on this side with paper bag on the other side for writing, and again some spice dyed paper for writing space. It slips right in this belly band. And in the last page I made a paper bag out of old, very old book pages, and I just put a couple of birds. It says chase the sun, and another one of those cut out flowers that we had made last week. And this is a journaling card, big one. It says push your boundaries, and this again is that division or something in fractions, math, out of that old vintage book that I have. And of course all this writing space. And this, I'm going to take it up so you can see, is a bag that actually opens up so that you can put in, you know, several things right in there. It'd be a great place to store a few things. And that's my paper bag journal. Let me just measure this for you because I don't have that in front of me. Don't you know? Let's see. So it is 5.5 by 8.5. It's, let's see, it's about 4.5 inches wide, the opening here, and I think the spine is 2.25. Let's see, maybe not. It's about a 2-inch, well, 2 1/8 inch spine. It's going to be on my Etsy shop, or it might be there already. You'll have to check. And then I use this raffia to put over here like this and around. I go around, and all I do is tuck this one under this side, and I tuck this one under this side. If I'm doing it right. And then I just give them a little tug. And you don't have to tie it, you just have to give a little tug. The raffia holds itself, and it holds it quite nicely. I mean, it doesn't even budge. So I love the way that worked on here. So I hope you enjoyed this journal. It's really gorgeous. I had fun making this. I spent a lot of time on this and wanted to get it done because we're still in the season of fall, and I thought it's a good time to start now and get it started for that person who finds its way to this journal. So I appreciate your time spent here. I hope it wasn't too lengthy. I know I talk slow and I talk a lot, so but if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It gives me inspiration to keep going. As a, you know, I don't talk about it often, but as a handicapped person, you are blessed with so many things right at your fingertips. So I am grateful for all your time spent here. I enjoy it. I like to encourage others who have disabilities so that they know they can do things, and sometimes it just takes that right person to connect and mentor somebody else along the way. So that's my inspiration for starting my channel, and of course I have, you know, we all have a lot of help and inspiration by our audience. So I really appreciate your time spent here. So if you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe if you like, and if you do, ring that bell so you can see upcoming videos. And I thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.